Jaden here from Mr. J's Adventures, and on this adventure we're hunting for gold, chasing sambar and camping in remote Australian bushland. So let's go. Is that a camel? That's pretty funny. Let's keep going. Alright, game plan today. We're going to head down the mountain, find a good camping area, set up camp, get some firewood, and then we'll go search for some gold. Fingers crossed. So those rub marks from the last video, looks like he's still rubbing this tree. I'll give you a closer look. Look pretty fresh to me. By the looks of things, he's not a big boy because he ain't rubbing that high up the tree. Even this one. So he made it about here. At least we know he's still moving through here. So we'll see how we go. We'll do a hunt after we do some gold mining. Oh. Don't know if you can really see, but behind me, just here, they're the old mining roads and the old logging roads. So you'll come across those. They're a lot easier to follow than walking everywhere else, tell you that. Find one, just pick up on it. It usually leads to the bottom, so I'll just follow that down. A lot easier. You can tell winter's ending. There's a lot more spider webs around. Made it to the creek bed. Alright, let's try and find a place to camp. So I found this camp area. It's not too bad. I camped here in the first video. It's a good spot. So I'll clear it out. We'll set up camp. So this is my Pathfinder ground sheet, which I use with my tent to give it extra protection. The tent I actually have doesn't come with a ground sheet, so I bought this, which kind of fits it. I'll put that down. This is my Black Wolf Mantis tent. Weighs about 1.2 kilos, which is very light. So let's set it up. It's pretty easy. Nothing really hard to it. So these are the tent poles. Black for black, red for red. And they just clip together like this. So they're pretty easy to put together. To be honest, usually I pack it down before I put the actual poles in. But oh well. This is my NATO military sleeping mat. I put it underneath my Cedar Summit mattress just to give me extra insulation from the ground to keep me warm during the night. Oh, it's starting to rain. Looks like it was just a small shower. Alright, let's hurry up and set up camp. I think I forgot to pack my Cedar Summit mattress. Oh, it's going to be a rough sleeper I have. Lucky, huh? Alright, set it up. So for a pillow, I just use the sack that the sleeping bag comes in, and I just shove my jumper in there. Saves carrying more stuff, to be honest. It's a pretty small tent, but I do fit everything in there, so I'll just show you. So I usually just put my rifle on the side here. And enough leg room there, and then all my stuff just fits up here. And what I'll do is I'll just chuck my pack on top there. So it might be a bit of a tight squeeze for people that are a bit taller. I'm not very tall, so I fit in there pretty good. All right, camp's all set up, so let's make a fireplace and get some firewood. You can use river rocks for the perimeter of the fire. They won't explode. But don't build up too high, because if they fall in during the night on top of the hot coals, they will blow up because of the water within the rock. So just be mindful, be a bit careful, because they do blow up, like It's a little bit rainy today, so I'm just going to put all the tinder, put them in here. That way they're out of the rain, so it's easier to get a fire going. And for the larger stuff, just going to put it under this fallen tree here. Alright, camp's all set up. We've got firewood, so let's go see if we can find some gold. Just going to walk up the creek bed a little bit, try and find where the bends are, where the water slows down, where the gold can actually settle on the creek bed, because it does weigh a lot more than other materials. So let's get walking and see if we can find some. Not too far from camp, but you can see all this corrosion and the rocks haven't been pushed away yet. So what I'm going to do is get the shovel out. I'm going to move the big rocks away, get the dirt underneath, put it in the pan, and we'll see if we get lucky. Oh, smash my knee. You know what? Just gonna dig right here where it kind of like pulls in and the water settles. I'm just gonna dig around here where all the rocks are collecting. It's more in the cracks and crevices. We'll see if we can get some there. I think I found gold. I'm pretty sure that's gold. Not bad for 2 hours of work. Just sucked it up. Pretty cool. Not bad at all. That's pretty cool, man. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, coffee time. Might have to come back down here for a few days and see if I can find some more. That was about 2 hours of work, which isn't too bad to find a little speck. But I bought this from Anaconda the other day, so it works well. Comes with all the tools you need. Alright, let's go back to camp and have a coffee. So if you're interested, that's the painting kit that I bought from Anaconda. It comes with a lot of things though, which is cool. Shows you how to pan, which is neat. Enough talking, let's make a coffee. Right, let's go for a hunt. This is my little bum pad. It's pretty windy up here, but I've got a good viewing area right across the valley. Let's have a glass, see what we see. I just moved to locations because it's too windy over there. Along the ridgeline was just way too windy. They're not really going to be out in the wind. So I've just come here. There's a nice saddle there. Looking through the binos, there's not much wind over there. So, and I'm more likely to travel through the saddle than any other part. So I'll have a bit of a glass, see how I go. I'm not having much luck, I tell you what, around here. The only time I've ever got deer up here is during the week, not the weekends. I might drop down because I've got about 40 minutes left of light. Might drop down to the creek bed, sit and wait, see if I can catch them coming down. Alright, let's get a move on. I wonder why that's all way out here. Yay! I made it back to camp. And everything's where it should be, which is good. Let's get a fire going and cook some dinner. For dinner tonight, having 2 potatoes as always. And treated myself with a rump steak. So I've just put some salt and pepper on there. And then I've put some butter across the top of it. Let's cook them. I'll put the potatoes on. So I'll put them on for about 45 minutes. And I'll turn them every 15. And I'll put the steak on each side for about 7 minutes. Alright, see how the steak turned out. Looking good. Let's take the potatoes out. Man, these were hot when I freaking opened them. Nothing beats a good potato. For dessert, we're having an apple cinnamon crisp, and I'll show you how to make it. All you need is 2 apples, some tin foil, and I made it at home, but the ingredients are 1/4 cup of rolled oats, 1/4 cup of flour, 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Didn't have brown sugar, so I used white sugar. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of butter. So, let's make it. Then take your knife and then dice up your apples. Add your butter. Add your mixture. So when wrapping it, always double wrap it. And just put it on for about 15 minutes. Let it cool down, then we'll have a look and see how it turned out. Alright, now for the taste test. Actually smells pretty good. That is pretty good, to be honest. It's been a pretty long day, so I'm going to head to bed and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning everyone. Just getting the fire going and I'm going to have a coffee and then we'll pack up camp and we'll boot off. I see my car. Yay for me. What a view, huh? I don't know if you can see it. Woo. Give you a closer look. Just in the background there's Mount Piper. Alright, let's go. Thanks for watching, we'll see you on the next one.